Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the 2018-2019 school year. This will be Idea Center's fourth year, and I would like to begin our meeting by taking a moment to review our newly revised mission statement, as well as our guiding principles. Thank you. And I would like to note that it's these principles that have led you to design innovative projects, which have allowed our students to explore curriculum in ways most would not have had the opportunity to do at a traditional campus. And they have achieved, especially when it comes to presenting their learning. It's especially inspiring to watch students like Hilda and Sanai, who've been with us from the beginning, and to see their growth and their confidence, especially when they're sharing their learning with the public. And this growth is due to your efforts and hard work. And in addition to continuing our understanding of project-based learning, this year we will be focusing our efforts collectively on academic achievement, and specifically in the area of writing. Let me explain why. So the CASP data, which is now available via the California dashboard, is information that is available to all present and potential parents. And I've put together what I call the opportunity graph, in which I took our data, which combines the math and ELA information, and compared us to schools not only in our district, but around the county. And as you can see, because we are down here, far below the line of what I call opportunity or meeting academic standards, what this data shows is that we have some real improvements to make. Specifically, our ELA data shows one of the greatest areas of need for all our students is in the area of writing. And writing also presents the largest achievement gap between our low-income students and those who do not identify as low-income. As you can see here, only 11% of our low-income students scored above standards. And we also have a 17% achievement gap in these two groups for those scoring above standards, and an even wider gap in these two groups of scoring below standards. So the bottom line isn't really that pretty. The bottom line is that 64% of our students are scoring below standards in writing. And though this might not be a surprise to you, because I know we've talked before about the fact that our students struggle with writing, this number is too high and it needs to be addressed. That's what we're going to be doing this year. Why? Well, for some of you that might seem obvious, but just to clarify, our job is to prepare all our students to be ready for any opportunities which come their way, regardless of which path they choose after high school. And the stronger their writing, the better off they'll be. And I know that if some of you could make your writing or improve your writing overnight, you probably would do so, because I know that some of you don't feel like you're very confident in the area of writing. And when they go into the workplace, as you can see from this article in Time Magazine, it says professionals who received 1 to 4 promotions made 45% more grammatical errors than did professionals who were promoted 6 to 9 times. And additionally, if you don't know the difference between its and its, some people, and employers specifically, might wonder what else you failed to learn that might be useful. Therefore, our goal this year, specifically in the area of writing, is that 50% or fewer, hopefully, of our students will score below standards in writing. And the achievement gap between the low and not low income students will shrink from 24% to 17% or less. Now, I know many of you are asking how. You're thinking, I'm not an English teacher. I haven't been trained in how to teach students to write. I'm not confident in my own writing. So how can I teach my students to write? Well, A, we're going to be helping you. This is not something that I'm going to be expecting you to do on your own. B, I encourage you to think about how we ask our students to go beyond their comfort zones and adopt a growth mindset. I'm now asking you to do the same. And additionally, belief in our students' ability to learn is one of the most important factors in student achievement. And right now, I want you to take a moment to listen to Simon Sinek talk about going beyond his comfort zone, specifically himself in the area of writing. And I think he makes a really good analogy here. So if you could listen to this really quickly, and then I'll move forward. Thank you. So I know the idea of teaching writing for some of you is like jumping in the ocean without knowing how to swim. But as Simon explained, this is not the case. You all have basic knowledge. You all know how to swim. Now, this may be a challenge, might be swimming in the deep end, but acknowledging this as a challenge might make it even more authentic and powerful for our students. If they see you taking a risk with writing and adopting a growth mindset and trying to improve, they're going to be even more willing to do the same. So you're all educated and intelligent, and with support, which you're going to be given, we can all do this and we can meet this goal. So now what are we going to be doing to do this? Well, our plan is called First 15 Weekly Reflection Wednesdays. So each Wednesday, students will write a 5-sentence minimum weekly reflection. And the first 15 minutes of every class period will be dedicated to a different part of this process. So for example, in period 1, students will be focusing on brainstorming and pre-writing. Period 2 will focus on the actual draft, so writing the draft of the reflection. Period 3 will involve peer reviewing and scoring based on the rubric that you and I, all of us, are going to create together. And then period 4 will focus on revising and editing the draft, and then the students self-scoring based on that same rubric. Each part of this process will be structured for you, and very soon you're going to be trained on each step of this process as well. Additionally, down here, each month students will select their best reflection, and in your grade level PLCs, you will score those reflections based on the rubric. And then those scores will be entered into Illuminate so we can track our growth in writing. And additionally, in your grade level PLC team, you'll discuss how to help certain students who might not be meeting standards, like Cisco, who we know kind of off the bat probably is going to be struggling with this. So what can you do to help him? And students like Addie, who might already be at a 4. So how do we encourage her to keep growing and pushing her process to improve? So once again, our goal is to decrease the percentage of students not meeting standards to 50% or less, and to shrink our achievement gap between the low-income and not low-income students from 24% to 17%. And we're going to be doing all this by June. And again, we're going to be doing this together. As it says, all tools and training will be provided for every step of this process. And we are going to be addressing any problems and issues as they come up. And again, we're going to tackle this together. And if we tackle this together with our growth mindset in mind, I really do think that we can really lead to our students to meet this goal and to be ready to walk through those doors of opportunity when they open to them. Thank you, Mavericks. Let's get this school year going, and let's do this.